Good morning, everybody. It's Sharon here from pintangle.com. I thought I'd show you another finish of mine. It's a fabric book. So it's the Tao de Ching by Lao Tzu. And it's a verse that says, "We put 30 spokes together and call it a wheel. But it is on the space where there is nothing that the utility of the wheel depends." We turn clay to make a vessel, but it is on the space where there is nothing that the utility of the vessel depends. We pierce doors and windows to make a house, and it is on these spaces where there is nothing that the utility of the house depends. Therefore, just as we take advantage of what is, we should recognize the utility of what is not. And then there are 2 blank pages. Okay, back to the beginning. And this is how I made it and what I used. First of all, I printed all the text out on using a computer. This is a quilter's fabric, and I used a double-sided fusing product. It's called Misty Fuse, to secure the fabric to the page. The page was initially patchworked. All of the pages I think you'll find are patchworked as a foundation cloth, and then I added embroidery over the top of that. Here I have loads of bullion knots. I'll just bring it up to the... There we go, I think you can see it. Loads of bullion knots here, spiderwebs wheel, more bullion knots, buttonhole wheels. This is a sort of heishi bead out of one of my bead soups. This is actually coconut beads. They're just freeform cut. They're all irregular. There's more heishi beads down here. The heishi beads, as you can see, just go sort of flow over the whole space. This is, I had a lot of fun on this page. There's a lot of buttonhole wheels. There's cast on stitch, buttonhole wheels, buttonhole bars, lots of heishi. There's a lot of seed beads in there. There's a bit of running stitch here. There's a line of running stitch around the wheel, where the wheel is. I think that's all. Bit of hand-dyed lace. The pages were originally patchworked, as you can see. These are hand-dyed scraps, basically, from my stash generally. Try to just use up things. Okay, once again, another patchworked page. Hand-dyed fabrics. That's quilter's cotton. This is chain stitch. I don't use complicated stitches, really. For most of my own work, when you look at it, I've got a few basic stitches that I use, and I just have a lot of fun with them. I'm always experimenting with stitches to see if they can make new marks and create a different effect, and they get incorporated for a while, and then I go on to discover something else, and so I'm usually just using a few stitches in any one project. So spiderweb's wheel. This is a spiderweb's wheel over a bead. You can see it's a flat bead, and it's over a bead. There's another instance of a spider web's wheel over a bit. Okay, next page. Once again, it's on a patchwork of background fabrics. They're also a mix of fibres. So this is linen, that's cotton. This is even a bit of Ada that I dyed. I put in a dye bath. And I sort of did things like echo the colour. You know, often the colours of the threads are echoed in the background fabric. Like, it's one of the ways I get colour ideas. Here we've got the same group of stitches, really. We've got cast on stitch. We've got spider web wheel. We've got buttonhole wheels, oyster stitch, bullion knots, French knots, chain stitch, stem stitch. This was a bit of tubular knitting ribbon that I threaded some wool through, you know, knitting wool, and then just ruched it all up, and you get this sort of effect. It's fun. Okay, this one. The line says we pierce doors and windows to make a house. So I was sort of interested in introducing a few square shapes just to echo the feeling of doors and windows. So here we've got these little grids that are created from running stitch. And then I've got these beads. Oh, they're not beads, they're sort of a bead. You just stitch them down. And this is just oyster stitch. And then I've just got a little line of French knots, more or less to tie this colour to this colour. You know, just echo something along the page a bit, because the eye is going to go here anyway. So it was just a way of just having something happen in that area. And then we've got this, which echoes the wheel from the previous page. Hopefully. You know, you sort of get just a feel of a look. Okay, so this is more once again on a foundation of patchworked fabrics. This is Ada, a scrap of Ada that was dyed. Everything else is that's cotton. This is cotton. This was it was just a black blouse, and I did some you use bleach to bleach out some colour and get some patterns. It just makes it more interesting. These are washes that have been wrapped in cotton pearl number 5 thread. And these are little round beads with a little seed bead on top. That's the way they were secured. So these washes are all treated the same way. So there's buttonhole wheels, French knots, few oyster stitches down here. These are back stitches. It's just a pattern created with back stitch, and it's the same here, same behind all these French knots is back stitch. Worked in pearl 5, cotton pearl 5, and it was a hand dyed pearl 5, so it changed colour. This isn't me changing a lot of threads, it's a variegated thread that I use. Okay, so this one is sort of like the dramatic moment, you know. Therefore, just as we take advantage of what is, you know. Anyway, this is a bit of sari silk, sari thread, which I just gathered, and it's left it raw edge. I just gathered it up and then added beads and things like that on top. So we've got buttonhole wheels, we've got French knots, we've got in all sorts of threads, so the sizes are different. Bullion knots. This is over a bit of lace. This is actually a bit of lace. Now, I'm not sure if... No, you're not going to be able to see it very easily. But that is lace. I'll see if I can poke a bit. There we go. That's lace that I've just stitched over. So there's more of it there. It was a... Actually, you can see it there. And this, as you can see, it's quite a big cord. And it's, once again, it's knitting cotton, knitting ribbon that I have threaded a thick woolen thread through it, because knitting ribbon is tubular. So I just thread it through and then ruche it up together, and you got this interesting cord. That's what it's just fun to do. I think that's all we need to say about that little lot. What do we got here? What stitch is it? Well, once again, it's been pieced. A hand-dyed doily there. Spiderweb wheel. Honestly, I went mad with spiderweb wheels in this lot. And buttonhole wheels, you know. Cast-on stitch, French knots, bullion knots, he, she stitched on. I use them all the time. I love the fact that they're a little disc and you can just, play with them. This is stem stitch, and then there's chain stitch as well. And this is a whipped... what was it? Oh, it's a whipped running stitch there. So that's that. And then same thing here. Once again on a patchwork background. Hand-dyed lace, a little lace motif. Some more of that sari silk. More tubular knitting ribbon that's been filled with wool. Spiderweb wheel, again, we haven't got any buttonhole wheel on this one, but French knots, cast on stitch, bullion knots. So that's that. And so more of that lace that was underneath, it was patched, and then the lace there, and then I would have added these, and then I would have filled it in with embroidery. So we've got a little button, little eyelet stitches really. Spiderweb wheel, whipped spiderweb wheel. More he, she, or even a little bit of that silk from the silk sari. And that's it really. Oh, bullion knots. I think that's it. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed seeing my fabric book. Thanks for watching.